friends, welcome back to the channel. After years, over a decade of diversity propaganda and brainwashing in their recruitment ads, it looks like the Army is facing an existential recruiting problem. And so now, once again, they are trying to appeal to the people they just spent years purging out of the military. It is wild to see. This new ad they dropped, I find pretty interesting, because I'm just thinking, oh great, we're about to be false flagged and psyoped into a war, and they're gonna try to basically take the people that they were just purging from the military as extremists, i.e. white Christians, and they're gonna try to get them to join.
Your
So
path leads to war.
this is the newest ad to drop from the military, and as you can see, there's not a lot of diversity in it.
So war is coming. You know that. What will you do when you
War is coming. You know this. What will you
feel its
do?
breath upon your neck?
So as you can see, this is very different from the kinds of ads that you usually see from the military. Always be concerned when you see things like this. And this is another one that also recently dropped. And again, it's the same lack of diversity. I'm gonna mute the sound just so we don't get a copyright strike for the music here. But as you can see, when you watch this ad, this is very different from the past 15 years, I would say, of Army recruiting ads. This is like very obviously trying to appeal to that like Midwest white Christian militia guys who they literally just spent years calling extreme and purging these people from their ranks. They put together a handbook of symbols that they claimed were extreme, and some of this stuff is like the 3%er symbol, some of it is like literally the Gadsden flag, the Betsy Ross flag. So I just find this funny that they're now trying to appeal to these people who they spent years trashing and diminishing to now fight their wars on their, to now fight their wars on what we all know to be somebody else's behalf. And just to remind people the kinds of ads that the Army was putting out not that long ago, and I mean like just a few years ago. I think that this ad was from 2022 or 2023. And just take a listen.
Although I had a fairly typical childhood, took ballet, played violin, I also marched for equality.
Of course. Look at the ridiculous signs. Love with a heart as the O. Be yourself, the silly sign she's holding here, and she's wearing the rainbow heart on her shirt. It's kind of ridiculous, but that this was actually put out as a recruitment ad.
I like to think I've been defending freedom from an early age.
Right. I like to think I've been defending freedom from an early age by standing in a ridiculous parade, holding a sign, and doing nothing.
When I was 6 years old, one of my moms had an accident that left her paralyzed.
When I was 6 years old, one of my moms had an accident. So again, I'm gonna turn the sound off, but just go ahead and look at this video. And at the same time they were running this absurd recruitment ad, we had the Russian army putting out very different recruitment ads. Same with China as well, where they're actually focused on the war fighting capabilities and like masculine things. This is what the US Army was putting out, but as you can see, this didn't work out for them very well, and they need to get the white Christians on board with, going to war with Iran on behalf of Israel. And I think it's just ridiculous. And one other thing I want to add, I'm sure you guys remember we did a video on the latest Army recruitment psyop, which was the U.S. Army e-girl. This is Haley Lujan, I think is her name, Lunchbag Lujan, she goes by on social media. She literally is in the psyops department, but her whole thing is that she leans into the psyop. She often, will sarcastically say that she is a psyop. It's just acknowledging the mind war, which is what the mind war practitioner does. And the article here is how e-girl influencers are trying to get Gen Z into the military. Cosplay commandos are posting nationalist thirst traps to mobilize the simps, but why? Yeah. I'm not the American dream. I'm more like the American nightmare, beams the influencer known as Haley Lujan in a video on her 363,000, it's much more than that now, TikTok followers. With full face e-girl makeup, drawn on freckles, and a rosy nose, the 20-year-old is the face of an unsettling new breed of e-girl, garnering millions of views online. She posts thirst traps inside of helicopters and pouty selfies with assault rifles with hashtags like pew pew and military curves. She shares cutesy unboxing compilations and makeup tutorials, get ready with me videos and lip syncs. She jokes about war bunkers and plays with remote control tanks, which she overlays with sparkly filters and heart emojis. Known in esoteric meme circles as the PSYOP girl, Haley Lujan, simply known as Lujan, is a self-described psychological operations specialist for the U.S. Army, whose online presence has led to countless memes speculating she is a post-ironic PSYOP meant to recruit people into the Army. Indeed, she is. And so it just seems to me that they are getting very desperate, and I find it concerning because it means that things are happening in the background and that they're going to try to push for the next war, which I believe will be a war with Iran that I don't think anybody here wants. But I'm interested to know what you guys think, and I hope you all have a good day.